So what's it like to drive in the snow in Treasure Valley, Idaho? Let's find out next. Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here in the Treasure Valley Dave garage. And this is one of the first key components of driving in the winter is putting your car in the garage so you don't have to get up extra early to scrape the windshields and things like that. So pretty cool, huh? I know in California we used our garages for many things. Parking cars in them wasn't necessarily one of those things. But so let's go for a little drive this morning and talk about this. So we don't have a lot of snow out here. You can see it's not feet after feet, but it looks like the road is a little slushy. Typically our roads will stay warmer. So like in this case, the snow's kind of melted off, but it can still be a little slick. So what we're gonna do is just drive pretty slow. Seems like the thing to do. And I see there's somebody else driving really slow. Later today, this will probably all be melted away, at least off the roads and the sidewalks. We'll just take it nice and easy. I recently got this vehicle, which is got four-wheel drive when you need it. It's not always on, I don't think. But my first 7 years here was just a two-wheel drive van. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. See, everyone's just taking it nice and easy. And we start to get out here on the more busy roads, and just the heat from the tires will start to warm it. And sometimes on the really busy roads, they'll put some grit down to help with traction. So I have some experience driving in the snow. You may or may not know that I was born and raised in Nebraska, and you might have heard that they have some pretty snowy weather there, ice cold and stuff like that. So when you get your license there, it's like you also have to learn how to drive in the snow. Now sometimes those skills might come in handy, especially if you're not taking it real slow and you start to get into a skid or something. What's going on here is that we are next to an elementary school. So you can see the little flashy sign over there. Everyone has to slow down to 20. It's 8:44 in the morning, so everyone's dropping their kids at school. And the person in front of us just bought their vehicle, and they're gonna do everything they can to make sure they don't get a dent in it. And I guess there's another important lesson there is if you're afraid of driving in the snow, you're more of a danger than anything. You want to have confidence in what you're doing, and you get that by practice, by going slow. When we first moved up here, our daughter was just at the age where she was getting her learner's permit, and so when we had our first snow, we went out to practice, and we found a big parking lot with nothing in it. And we would just drive around, and I was in the passenger seat, and I would just, surprisingly, I'd grab the emergency brake and I'd throw that on and put us into a skid. And, the first few times she was kind of uncomfortable with it, but then wasn't too many times. It started becoming fun. And, the next year she was out there doing that with all of her friends that hadn't got a license yet, and even some that had, and teaching them how to drive in the snow, how to steer into a skid, and to know what it feels like to lose traction. So, yeah, but this is a pretty typical winter in, of course, we're in Nampa, but this is what it looks like that we get maybe 3-4 times a year. Yesterday it was some flakes in the air. Nothing was sticking. and then I woke up to this. But the day before that, we're well up into the 40s and sunshine. And I expect that within the next day or two, we'll be back up into the 40s and sunshine again. So it looks like most of the traffic in town was right outside my subdivision by that elementary school. Everything else looks pretty decent this morning. So I like to give myself plenty of room. The road looks pretty dry right here where all the cars have been driving, the tracks of where their wheels were. And it's really those neighborhoods that are off the beaten path that you have to be careful for because they don't have that much traffic on them yet. And so the road isn't that warmed up from all the tires that have been going through. I mean, we are in the middle of February, so what you see here is definitely kind of like one of those late winter storms. It's definitely not going to be sticking around very long. Like I say, we're going to be back up into the 40s and then the 50s. And we know we're still on standard time. Daylight savings time is supposed to kick in pretty soon. So once that happens, then we'll start getting lighter earlier. Right now it's staying light until 6:30, going on 7 o'clock in the evening. And just back in December, it was 4:30, 5 o'clock it would get dark. So it's like every day we're adding several more minutes to the length of our daylight. And then when spring gets here in another month or so, you'll be outside having all sorts of fun, doing great things, having more daylight and longer days to do all those fun things that you want to do. So do you think you could drive on one of these roads if you've never driven in snow before? I mean, it's not a lot to it. There might be a little moist in places. Oh, look, a plow truck. You should be out having some coffee right now. There ain't nothing to plow. So yeah, the subdivisions, the back streets that don't get a lot of traffic, those you would just want to slow down on, take it easy. But then once you get out here to the more main traveled, you'll be just fine. And then once you get up to like the business highway or the Nampa Caldwell Boulevard, or even out on the freeway, it's going to be well used. It's going to be well warmed up enough that you're not going to have any issues. Here's one of those subdivisions I was talking about. Not a lot of traffic through here. Roads have a little bit more slickness to them, but we just kind of, take our time. No big hurry. And so, people ask me, do I need a four-wheel drive? Well, the thing is, four-wheel drive helps you get to going. The stuff that makes you stop, you've already got the best there is. You've got brakes on all four wheels. But what you have to do is drive slowly so that when it does come time to brake, you can do so. So that's what we do, is just take it slow. We've got good, all season tires on here. We carry a bag of cat litter in the back. So in case we do get stuck someplace, we just throw a little bit of that underneath the tire and we can take right off. In a pinch, you can take your floor mat from inside the car, put it underneath your tire that's slipping. You'll gain traction and you'll get out of whatever spot that you're in. But just using your head, common sense, not going too fast, leave your way out. So if the person in front of you is going slow, well, you just go slow and leave plenty of room between you. If you're coming up to a stoplight and it's still green, but it's been green a while, just go ahead and start slowing down in case you need to come to a stop right away, and then you're not going to go blowing through a stoplight and possibly getting hit by somebody else. Look, someone's been out here doing a donut already. You think we could do one? Probably not. Can we try? Broke a little traction, nothing to write home about. All right, so winter driving, not that big a deal. The worst areas is in the subdivisions. The main trick is just taking your time, going slow, and getting there without any new curvatures in your bodywork. Well, if you've enjoyed our little morning trip out here in one of our terrible snows, please go ahead and share this video, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And as always, Treasure Valley Dave, looking forward to helping you get home. Bye. Bonus footage. You get to have breakfast with Treasure Valley Dave. Where? Del Taco.